Our episode today is going to be about South Park. If you're a conservative who happens to like South Park, this probably won't terribly offend you.
Kristi Noem, I think she might have gotten a little bit offended.
Yeah.
I think if you're offended by South Park, you would have been offended by South Park 27 years ago.
Hello, and welcome to the Pop Culture Contrarian with Thomas, Sterling, and Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Our episode today is going to be about South Park, but before we get started, go check out patriotpost.us. That's the best way to support us, is by subscribing to our free newsletter there. It publishes Monday through Friday at noon. Go do that. And the second best way to support us is to go to patriotshop.us and buy some of our merchandise. We've got like this Gulf of America shirt that I'm wearing. Go buy some stuff, shirts, stickers, books, whatever you like. And that's the best way to help us make our product better. We're looking to get some guests on soon. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us who we should have on, what we should talk about. And now let's get started. South Park, guys. They have a new season going on, season 27 now.
Mom, my favorite show just got canceled by the government.
South Park
The government can't cancel a show. I mean, what show are they going to cancel next?
on Comedy Central and next day on Paramount Plus.
And in this episode, they take aim at some pretty big conservative figures.
In this episode, it's, I guess, maybe three figures in particular, and then one people group, you could say. Charlie Kirk, the podcaster and political activist for Turning Point USA. So that's one.
Did they actually name him?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they do.
The awards are the Charlie
That's
Kirk.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Charlie Kirk Master Debater Awards.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the joke. It's
Yes.
South Park. You know what to expect.
Yeah. Then there's Kristi Noem, head of ICE, and there's Trump, of course, and JD Vance, a kind of a package deal.
Yeah.
And then there are the, I guess, the subset of people who may be doing things that they don't believe in order to make money.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were
That's the
going with
subset of people that, and we can get into that, the whole ICE debate.
that. Right.
The grifters?
Right.
Or are you talking about?
The school counselor
Yeah,
joins ICE in this episode.
I
yeah.
see.
Mr. Mackey. Okay.
Yeah, it sounded a little bit like that. But I feel like that character from Beavis and Butthead, right? The teacher from Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
I am too young to know anything about Beavis and Butthead. You
Well-
old farts.
I feel like he had that famous okay.
Okay. See, I wouldn't have associated that with Beavis and Butthead at all.
Really? Yeah.
You're showing your youngness.
Yes, I am.
I don't
showing
know
my
that South
youngness.
Park could have existed without Beavis and Butthead. Beavis and Butthead kind of paved the way for this type of.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you say so. My elders are telling me something, I'll believe them.
Have you ever seen an episode?
Nothing of Beavis and Butthead
Really?
at all. Only parodies.
Okay, you should see it sometime.
The great cornholio. I need kippy for my bunghole.
I thought they would make fun of it being TP USA, you know.
I know, that was like a perfect joke.
Perfect
opportunity.
setup.
I think that one's a little bit done to death. South Park likes to try to be a little bit clever. I wouldn't say this episode's the most clever ever. There's a couple clever jokes.
Yeah. I really think it depends on who you are, whether you think it's clever or not, but it's definitely biting. And, you know,
Yeah.
that's South Park. And from their perspective, I would say they're throwing darts at the idea of a dystopia that is America now.
Right.
Or at least what the right represents in their eyes. And I could see people from the left seeing that, and I don't know that they're necessarily laughing, but they're probably just like, it's a cathartic thing for them.
The point you just made, you don't know that they're necessarily laughing. Even the people who this is ostensibly made for, the people on the left, that's the factor that's killed all these late night show hosts, right?
Colbert.
Is the clapter is the term that's been used, which is the late night host, like Colbert, will tell a joke, and instead of the audience laughing, they'll clap. And it's like
Right.
that. Well, then it wasn't funny. It's not a joke if you don't laugh.
It's more angry than anything.
Yeah.
I would say it's supposed to be edgy, and there's definitely room for that in this kind of commentary. But when that's all it is, you know, you're right. It kind of becomes something other than humor.
So this episode starts with Cartman finding out that one of his classmates has been taking over his shtick.
I'm sick of people stealing my stick.
Which Cartman's shtick specifically is he says edgy things about black people or Jews or whoever is supposed to be a sacred cow that you're not allowed to attack. That's Cartman's whole thing, is he likes to offend people.
All you ever do is call me names and rip on me for being Jewish. Kyle, when have I ever ripped on you for being a Jew? Oh yeah? Well, you're a stupid Jew. You're a Jew. Good job, Jew. Jews. Shut Jew. You're Jewish. Dude, he's Jewish. Jew. 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 I told you Jewish people don't have rhythm. Okay, except maybe for that one time.
And this student at the school has been doing this podcast where he master debates a bunch of girls and tells them that they're stupid feminists and, kind of imitates the right-wing persona, manosphere kind of stuff.
Charlie Kirk is what it's supposedly envisioned off.
The idea is they're like calling out like a rage bait podcaster type of persona.
Right.
Watch as Flash Donovan totally destroys these woke little students.
Welcome to the channel, guys. Looks like a lot of whiny babies have a problem with what I say, so prove me wrong.
Yeah, so of course Cartman gets very territorial, as Cartman always does, and because this guy's even using "you will respect my authority."
You will respect my authority.
That's Cartman's line. Cartman beats him up and then dresses up as Charlie Kirk and starts master debating with all these girls who show up to, talk about abortion rights and stuff like that.
If anyone around here is going to be a master debater, it's me. So let's go. Who wants to debate the master debater?
And he pretty much grabs dialogue straight from Charlie Kirk when he's talking to these ladies.
And wins, even on South Park.
Right, yeah.
Which is amazing, and gets the Bible verses right and does the same arguments, and they hold true, which is interesting.
That's the stupidest haircut I've ever seen.
You are wrong. Leviticus 3:17 says it shall be a perpetual statute for your generations throughout all your dwellings. So you can shut up, baby. You just hate America and you love abortions.
You say he gets the Bible verses right. I'm going to pull up Leviticus 9, which is 1 through something, which is what he references. Doesn't seem to have any reference to what he's talking about in that moment. He does get the Jeremiah reference right.
That's the one I'm
Leviticus
talking about.
What makes you think you have the right to say what I do with my body?
Let me ask you something. If a pregnant woman is killed and the baby dies too, why is the killer charged with a double homicide?
Well, because people have different beliefs.
It's not about belief. It's about truth. Science confirms life begins at conception. So yes, Jeremiah 1:5 says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. But it's just morality that demands we protect the most vulnerable. So let me ask you, when do you think life began?
The Leviticus one, it's just like he's saying it to tell his mom to let him do what he wants.
That's very naughty, Eric. Stop it.
Mom, I finally got sponsored by a protein powder, so I got a master debate for a couple more hours. Leviticus 9, 1 through 8. Let me alone.
To read the verse real quick, it's, on the 8th day Moses summoned Aaron and his sons and the elders of Israel. He said to Aaron, and then it's like 7 more verses.
Yeah.
So that was just, I don't know, a joke, I guess. I'm not sure what the humor was supposed to be there.
The whole idea of this master debater thing is throwing the joke at, you don't actually have any good arguments. You're just like a creep. Mm-hmm. And it's like creepy behavior to be a podcaster who's talking to kids on campus about important issues.
I guess that's kind of the angle they're trying to pitch here. Of course, it doesn't work with Charlie Kirk if you know anything about him, because he's been doing this since he was a college-age peer, and this is what he does, and so he's kept doing it. And now I think he's about my age, so he's about 30 years old.
I would say it didn't really land as far as substantive joke or substantive criticism. It was kind of more just like the typical leftist name calling, or just throwing shade and accusing you of just being creepy or something instead of really engaging. And I know I say that at risk of commenting on South Park, because they do have a history of being very clever. Right. And they always do whatever they do on purpose, supposedly.
I will say the one joke that I thought was pretty good is kind of a subtle one, is every time either of these two characters is doing the master debating shtick with the woman is talking, they'll be opening up a bottle of water, taking a really long time on it, taking like the tiniest sip in the world, then closing it again, and talking for 2 seconds, and then doing the exact same thing over again, just over and over and over again, which is, if you watch Charlie Kirk videos, he does kind of play with his water bottle a lot.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny, but it's very much more subtle than the rest of the jokes.
You know, they made one joke about selling the supplements, which is pretty common. You see on podcasts, selling supplements. And sure, you know, it's a worthy joke, but it occurred to me earlier that it's really no different than the left media or like the big corporate mainstream media, which has traditionally dominated the narrative for decades.
Yeah.
What do? Like fear-mongering or big, crazy headlines and or rage stuff or whatever to get clicks or views to sell advertising for any number of things. It's literally the same exact play, but now that the conservative guy that has his own show tries to do it and make money in the same way, all of a sudden it's like somehow based, they just want to make money. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Do you guys think that this was humor that was done from people who are leftist mocking those on the right, or was it just satirists taking advantage of applying their craft across the board?
I don't know that people like us can really have an unbiased opinion about that.
Right.
Because we obviously have very distinct opinions about all these people and these subjects.
Yeah.
And I know I didn't take it as just pure satire. I saw it as just throwing darts because they don't like what they see. Is that really what they're doing? I'm not sure. That's a good question.
The reason I bring it up is I think that the South Park MO is mockery of basically everything, and they like to take it to level 9 or 10. You know, they want to, be hyperbolic with it. Like in this case, it's Kristi Noem showing up and shooting every puppy she sees.
A few years ago, I had to put my puppy down by shooting it in the face, because sometimes doing what's important means doing what's hard.
Yes, including crypto, which is, I guess, a slight Superman reference.
Which it's mocking her statement about how she said she had to kill one of her dogs back in the day. I don't know, because it was a problem dog.
And to be fair, that was a weird thing that she put in her autobiography, and everyone did make fun of it.
Weird.
But that's like a year ago now, almost.
Yeah.
I think that is ripe for mocking. It makes sense based upon what the show is. I don't think it was them saying, hey, what can we say nasty about Kristi Noem because we don't like her? Right.
And Charlie Kirk's whole thing as this episode's been coming out has been the right should be able to take a joke. Like we don't want to make sacred cows where, you transgressed, now we're casting you out of society. Yeah, make fun of us. That's fine. We can take it. And I think that's appropriate. And again, like I wasn't offended by this stuff. And I do actually wonder on the question about what their angle is when they're making this episode. I wonder, are they that angry? Is this just an easy target, as you said? Or maybe, they just got a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount. Maybe Paramount was like, we want you to take aim at these targets. And they're like, sure, whatever, we don't care.
Yeah.
Sometimes they've been principled, other times they haven't. So I don't know. I think maybe this is just like what the studio we signed with wants us to do. We'll do it.
Well, I think it's just targets of opportunity. Everybody potentially could be a target of opportunity. Noem is an easy target.
She is an easy target, unfortunately.
I think Trump is an easy target. Yeah. Trump specifically has said crazy things all the time, you could say, or hyperbolic things. That's how he talks. He's kind of that's his.
But that's not like
Trump's base is an easy target too.
Yeah, right. With Noem, okay, I can see how the easy target lines up with the jokes they're making in this episode because she's shooting all these dogs. Fair, she admitted to shooting a puppy that she could have just let someone adopt. As far as I'm aware, it was a strange story. And then she shoots puppies all episode. Okay, and then she does wear a lot of makeup in all of her public appearances. Her hair is always perfect, and she looks very feminine, which is, I guess, good. But she's also the Secretary of Homeland Security, and it's like, maybe you should be a little bit more, I don't know, aggressive or something. But and then they make jokes on that line of her face of makeup falling off and then crawling around and like eating people or something like that. It's a little bit disturbing, but that's South Park. They're always disturbing. But the other thing is that the Trump jokes, I don't know that the Trump jokes were like, they were just jokes about Trump is evil, basically. Trump is a pervert, Trump is evil.
And Trump just has a little member.
In light of what South Park is, I think if you're offended by South Park, you would have been offended by South Park 27 years ago.
Right.
Because that's what South Park is. They're crass humor, mockery is what their brand. And they've been R-rated their whole time. And that's why they've, at times, that's why they've always been controversial because of that. I think really the only reason they're kind of a thing is they've just lasted for so long that they've kind of built this history. And anytime you build any kind of history, you kind of develop, even from other folks, a begrudging respect.
Yeah. Sure.
And so in that case, that's what it is here with South Park. A lot of people don't like it and never will like it, no matter how targeted the jokes are with maybe people you don't agree with or whatnot.
Well, it's worth noting the last time we talked about South Park in the show was the Kathleen Kennedy Disney episode where Cartman's becomes possessed by the spirit of Kathleen Kennedy, basically, and is like, put a chick in it and make it lame and gay.
Yeah. And that was pretty dang accurate.
Yeah, we liked that. That was funny because it was against someone we don't like. So maybe we just didn't find this terribly amusing because it's against people we like a little bit more.
I thought it was on the same level either way. There's some kind of funny things. I do think that Kristi Noem was kind of funny, and especially the shooting the dogs.
I mean, the shooting dogs was kind of hilarious.
That was funny. The ice things, and the teacher going, or the student counselor becoming an ICE agent, I guess.
Yeah, he
going to Mar-a-Lago.
He loses. Well, that's right. But I mean, that's a commentary. That's a really common cry of fear from the left right now. Is the current administration is defunding all of these previously federally funded things and supposedly school counselors. I don't know about that particular genre, but schools, certain things that have been considered sacred by the left forever.
Right.
And so apparently this is a commentary on what people are having to do when federal funding gets pulled and then selling their souls just to pay their bills. And, he's really, Mr. Mackey, he's trading, and he's making the decision to do this, but he's trading one federal job for another. The main difference is one is counseling kids who are having a hard time, and the other is kicking people out of the country who are here illegally.
Right. And the line they keep using for Mr. Mackey as he pursues this is he's got to make the money to cover his nut or get his nut or whatever it is.
That's the name of the episode.
Right. Yeah. Got a nut. Yeah. And I guess there's some joke there. I'm not quite sure. I guess there could be a sexual joke there, but it just didn't seem to have been fleshed out. The one thing I didn't quite understand with Mr. Mackey's storyline is every time he earns money, he then owes even more money that month. And maybe there was some biting satire there. Again, it just didn't seem fleshed out. I didn't follow it.
I think it's the idea of the more income you have, invariably you end up spending more money, and your debt actually can be larger than when you were making less money.
Sure. Okay.
I think that was kind of a little bit, I agree with you. It wasn't well developed. And even the whole conversation about, I'm working for my nut was a little confusing to me, because I was like, at one point, I'm like, I was wanting to confuse it with nest egg. I'm like, I'm building a nest egg. No, that's not what he's saying. He's talking about debt.
Right.
Well, whatever it is, he's showing that he's motivated, and I think the commentary is there are supposedly a lot of people now who are doing what they don't necessarily believe in order to make money.
Right.
And I don't know if there's a commentary there on people who are just actually believing in what they're doing, and this is all predicated on the commentary around what's happening with ICE and deportations and that kind of stuff.
I mean, you could take it even farther. Is this, like you were just saying, they just signed a deal with Paramount. Is this them making a commentary of their own situation in regards to Paramount?
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
I mean, you could read all kinds of stuff into this. I do think they're the type of comedy who, I guess the closest thing I would think is the roast comedy. And so if you are lampooned on South Park, you've kind of arrived, which is kind of what
Yeah.
JD Vance was saying when he
Both
Yeah, he
Charlie
did.
Kirk
You know.
and JD Vance have
Yeah.
treated it almost as a badge of honor,
Right.
which is appropriate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, Vance, he tweeted out, he said something along the lines of, looks like I've arrived.
yeah. I mean, if the three of us were somehow lampooned on South Park, do you think we wouldn't be like, wow, that's kind of cool?
No, yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
South Park, we're easy targets. Come get us.
We're extremely
I
easy
mean-
targets.
I think you have to know what it is and respect what it is, or at least understand what it is. And in this case, I don't read too far into their lampooning of different people. Of course, they're going to do it and do it very crassly because that's their brand.
That's their brand. Yeah, I think the takeaway is if you're a conservative who happens to like South Park, this probably won't terribly offend you. And if it does, it's South Park. You know it's going to offend you sometimes.
Honestly, this is most of my life regarding when it comes to Hollywood and you're a conservative. This is what it's been. I mean,
Totally.
you know, you're considered a rube by Hollywood.
Right. One thing that the internet has pointed out that is a good point. I'm basing this on anecdotes. I didn't research this myself, but apparently South Park never really mentioned Joe Biden when he was president. And you want to talk about easy targets. He was falling upstairs. I mean,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
he literally destroyed an entire presidential campaign based on one bad debate because it was so bad. And they apparently didn't even mention it, which is like, okay.
So here's the real master debater,
Right.
Joe Biden.
Yeah, exactly. But that's a joke they could have made. They could have made the joke that Trump's the real master debater because he destroyed Joe Biden.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. Seemed like a little bit of missed opportunities here to me, but it's South Park. I'm sure they'll have some good stuff here in the future, and maybe we'll mention it if it's relevant to our sphere.
I don't know. Unless we're on it. If we're on it, I guarantee you
Yes.
we will talk
Yes.
about it.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot more people will know about us if
Yep.
we get
Yeah.
eviscerated by South Park.
Yes, indeed. Yes. So come eviscerate.
Yeah.
It's South Park. What are you going to do? Again, I think the takeaway here is if it's funny, laugh. If it's not funny, who cares? Don't kick up a fuss. There's no reason to be upset.
Yeah, and I think people who are fans of it or have been fans of it for a long time aren't going to be turned off by this episode. People who aren't and are offended, you need to know what it is.
Yeah. To quote the left, it's not for you.
Yeah.
Kristi Noem, I think she might have gotten a little bit offended.
Yeah, because it was attacking her looks.
But Kirk, he didn't care.
Right.
JD, he didn't care. I haven't heard from Trump on this one.
No.
But,
yeah.
I mean, a bunch of, at least half the people in it didn't care or thought it was funny or whatever.
I wouldn't have known this episode was happening if Charlie Kirk hadn't been putting it on every social he had.
Yeah.
Like he's been the best advertising for this episode in the world.
Yeah, sometimes it's just a way to get your name out there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a South Park episode, and our review is it's a South Park episode.
Yeah. Yep.
Nothing
All right.
too deep.
Okay.
All right, I guess that's it.
Yeah, you have to watch Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe they'll make me watch it for an episode. All right. That's been the Pop Culture Contrarian for today. Make sure to go to patriotshop.us and buy some of our products, or patriotpostshop.com. Both of those work. Buy some shirts, hats, stickers, whatever you like. Go to patriotpost.us and subscribe to our free daily newsletter. That is the best way to support us, and it's the oldest conservative news digest on the web. And it's right and it's free. Why aren't you subscribed already? Go do that, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.